Alright, quick update. I'm going to consider this a Tuesday tip for all of y'all. When you're gluing in your arrow points, make sure you use a sufficient amount of glue. With the heat and everything, and using a hot melt glue for a lot of the stuff, there is a chance the glue will loosen up. I was showing off my new arrowheads at Field 2 weeks ago, and I had tested them not in 100-degree weather like it is now, yanking on the arrowhead after it's screwed into the shaft to show that it's going to stay in. And apparently one of the points I didn't use enough glue on, and the reeve I handed it to just pulls the arrowhead right out of the arrow shaft and looks at me like, what the heck, you said this is going to be cool. Why isn't it, adhere to the shaft? And I was like, oh, that shouldn't have happened. So, when you're using your blowtorch to heat up your glue, make sure you use enough of it. And I know some people will just use their bare hands to grab their inserts. I may have called these points earlier in the video. That's just what I'm calling them. They're not points, they're an insert, they're blunt. They're designed to have a point screwed into them. And that's how my new modular arrowheads are working. So make sure it gets hot enough to where the glue actually melts on there. Put a decent amount on there, like I'm putting a little extra on there even. Grab your arrow shaft. If you're using full carbon arrow shafts, again, make sure it's not too hot so you don't explode the shaft. Push it on in, and then hold it down for like 10 seconds. And there, that one now has a point in it. Or, like I said, an insert. That's what it looks like when it's dry. And then the way my new arrowhead's supposed to work is they just screw in, and then it's on there solid. And she did that, and it came off. So you don't want that to happen. Make sure you're using enough glue. Anyways, that's the Tuesday tip. You have a good one. Bye.